Welcome back, everyone.
Welcome back. You were about to get into something exciting.
Yeah.
But please hold for a message from our sponsor.
Yeah, but first let me fucking sneeze. So, the other day I did a 24-hour marathon on Twitch. In support of myself. So it wasn't like a charity thing. It's just, yeah, the Guude charity. But before I started, people in like my sub Discord and stuff, they're always bitching. Or there's just one guy in particular that's always bitching that I should.
Guy, this is for you. Just understand.
Yeah, he knows who he is. His name is Zax. He's always saying I need to put out more videos on YouTube telling people about Twitch. And my argument, I have several arguments I've had with him about this. One of them is that half of my fucking content on YouTube at this point is Twitch VODs, and everyone knows they're Twitch VODs. So if you don't know I'm streaming on Twitch right now, you're just not watching my channel anyway. So I could put out a million motherfucking videos saying, hey, I'm streaming on Twitch. And if you don't know it already, you don't know it. And you ain't ever going to know it. It's my argument.
I guess what's his rationale? He doesn't think enough people know that you stream on Twitch?
Yes, yeah. He thinks there's a good percentage of my YouTube viewers that do not know that stream on Twitch. One of his arguments is kind of valid. He thinks at the start of every week I should put up a video saying, this is my Twitch schedule for this week. But the thing is, my Twitch schedule is not set in stone. It's basically 9 until midnight, except for Tuesdays and Thursdays. But it changes too. Like if I have extra time, I'll stream or whatever. So I guess, I mean, in some ways it's okay. People would just miss those random streams, but I don't have a set in stone schedule, especially like on the weekends. It really depends on like when I have my daughter and that sort of thing, as far as when I'm streaming. So part of it's it's just not set in stone, but I also feel like that's a little bit spammy. If the fucking schedule is always, and it has been for a long time, always every day except for Tuesday and Thursday, why should I put that every week? I guess his other argument is I should do Twitch highlights, but the thing is, I don't have time to edit that. I don't have time to edit the series I'm doing on Twitch to make them to get to YouTube on time as it is. In fact, I fell on getting this up half the time on time. So yeah, I don't know. I feel like I don't really have the time to do that.
So, I mean, I understand from this guy's perspective, because that seems to be what this guy's describing seems to be standard like Twitch streamer culture. And this person obviously, you know, enjoys Twitch stream watching versus YouTube, probably, it seems.
I think he watches these things, so he'll hear this. I'm pretty sure he watches these series too, from what I understand.
Well, I was just going to say, it sounds like he's trying to give you what he sees as like the channels that he follows on like Twitch probably are successful channels that do exactly what he's describing. And whether that makes it like the actual recipe for, you know, good or not, who knows, but it's probably what's familiar to him based on what he follows. I mean, so it's funny. Somebody at my work, my IT director, actually tries to follow me on a regular basis, and he told me he coincidentally caught one of our videos the other day, the one that posted about the bird in the emergency department, and he thought it was the funniest thing in the world because he was like, I know that bird, you know, and he was watching this video. But
I'm friends with that bird.
but he said he can't sit down never has time to sit down and watch like a 30-minute video of mine. So that he watches like bits and pieces when he can, if he can, and which is cool. I'm glad I'll take any of the views that, you know, I can get from you. That's great. Hope he doesn't come across one where I'm like, you know, bad mouthing something that happened at work if I'm frustrated or whatever. But you know, but the whole concept was I started explaining to him why 30-minute videos is such a funny thing, because way back in the day when you weren't a partnered YouTube channel through the YouTube partnership program, what was it, 10 or 15 minutes was your max? I don't remember.
It's 15.
15. So 15 minutes was the max video you could upload. And it was almost like a badge of honor when somebody saw that you had a thumbnail and a video that was longer than 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And so it became this thing that you started looking for content that was like 20 to 30 minutes seemed to be the sweet spot for an episode.
Right.
And we still kind of have that mentality, quote unquote, but it's not necessarily the mentality. It just kind of fits with our show, you know, a short podcast type of deal, you know, gives you enough story time, etc. But there's a lot of channels out there now, super popular channels, that their focus is to put out shorter videos and more of them. And that seems to kind of be the thing now. Whereas we're kind of in this way of, this used to be if you saw videos that were like 10 minutes, you were like, these videos are probably going to suck. These people probably aren't partnered. You know, they don't know what they're doing yet. But if you saw a video back in the day that was 20, 25 minutes long, you were like, oh, partner channel. Obviously, they know what they're doing. This is going to be some good content. Not that it was always good content, but it was like a mentality thing.
Yeah. Yeah. My goal is still like 22 minutes. That's like the sweet spot for me. But yeah, you're right. Like, I mean, well, you look at like Seth Bling. Like Seth Bling's, you know, he's just got hardly any episodes that long. Like his U8Cs are the only content that he puts out that are long like that. Everything else he had always done, he tried to keep it under 5 minutes or under 8 minutes. He told me a number at one point. I think it was 8 now that I've said it, but it might have been 5. But yeah. The reason why I bring this up, though, is when I did the marathon.
Excuse me.
I put out a video. Like I whenever I do something like that, I don't mind putting out a YouTube video that says, "Hey, I'm doing this thing. It's not your average stream." In case you didn't know about it, you know, maybe now you do. And the day before I had done this, I saw Captain Sparkles had put out a video. Oh shit! Well,
is that what his video said?
Yep, it was the old shit video.
Oh shit video.
Good content, the best old shits you'll find on YouTube. Creeper just blew up on me. So he put out a video. Apparently he had done a stream where he had put out a YouTube video saying, "Hey, I'm doing a stream," and he got a strike from YouTube saying this is against their community guidelines. You can't put out videos saying you're streaming on Twitch.
What?
Yeah. So when I put out, and so a lot of people in my Discord said, well, he only got the strike because he wasn't talking in his video. His video was just a
like a
single
screen.
video. Yeah, just a screen or whatever. And I was like, okay, well, I'll make sure because normally when I do it, I name off my schedule and this is what I'm doing and blah, 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 blah. So when I did mine, I did all that. And then I got all these tweets and all these comments on my video. This is banned. You can't do this against the law. And they started linking me to what happened to Linus Tech Tips. And they do a weekly stream where I can't remember what the name of the show is now. Wham Show, maybe? I don't know. I'm sure people were going to freak out about this. How can you not know? I've actually met these people because of Sevenus, but I don't let them know all their fucking shows. So anyways, either way, they also got a community guideline strike because they put out a video saying that, hey, we're streaming on Twitch. This is our weekly stream or whatever. So yeah, it looks like YouTube is not allowing these kind of videos on their site anymore.
Well, and this is one of the things I hate about, you know, sorry people, like the fanboys that are out there, is because this was a standard practice up until you just said that to me. I still thought this is relatively standard practice for some people. But I know a long time ago when people really started to switch over to Twitch streaming, it was extremely standard that you put out a video that said that you were streaming over there. And it was because people's YouTube channels were bigger than their Twitch channels at the time. I think the paradigm has shifted quite a bit, and people don't need to do that anymore, as well as there's more of Twitch isn't just for people who are on YouTube and going to do live stream stuff. It's its own platform with its own personalities as well that might have nothing to do with YouTube.
Right.
Had somebody said that to you when you used to do that, when you first started doing Twitch stuff? I'm sure you've done it before. They would just be wrong because they obviously didn't read the community guidelines. These people didn't read the guidelines. They're just fanboys of some popular YouTuber who had this happen to them. So all of a sudden they know so much better about all the guidelines that you're allowed to do on YouTube only because it happened to one streamer. So that always drives me insane is people talk like they've known this for years when really the only reason they know it is because, God damn it, I'm dropping so much stuff.
What have you done over there?
I dropped something off of the speaker that's under my table, and I went to pick it up kind of casually and kept dropping it, and then I went to put it back where it came from and literally knocked something else off out of the floor. So I did it. So everything became terrible all at one time. But... So, yeah, for one, that's frustrating because I'm sorry, fans, you don't always know what's best. And, yeah, you might end up knowing something that we don't, but it's not because you, read the YouTube community guidelines. It's because it just happened to somebody else who you happen to watch. Don't act like you knew it all along. But do you think it's written in the YouTube community guidelines somewhere? Or do you think
I looked into it, and here's what the guidelines say. The guidelines say you can't post repetitive videos. It was kind of a spam guideline. And so I read more about what Linus does. And I'm still not sure that what I did fits into this because it was a one-off thing. But it sounds like if you streamed once a week and posted a video, the same video every week, saying, "Hey, our stream is live," that's against their guidelines because it's a video that's repeated on a weekly basis. But also part of the guidelines say unwelcome videos directing masses of people off the site is another thing that.
I do remember that guideline coming up recently for something. The whole
so there is a thing that says,
"Oh, it's because I had one." I think was it one of my videos I had to fight for, or was it somebody else talking about one of their videos during the whole unmonetization thing? As they were stating, it was part of the unmonetization guidelines as well. So it talks about how they will unmonetize videos that try to take people en masse away from the site.
So yeah, I think in Linus's case, I think what really happened was that they do a weekly stream, and every single week they posted literally the same video announcing that it's going live. This stream is going live, so it became a thing where YouTube was like, "Well, you can't post the same exact video every single week saying this thing." But you know, they could. I think that either way, they could say that this is a video meant to take people off of YouTube and send them somewhere else. So either way, I think my video could technically have fallen under that same this is an issue sort of thing.
Well, theoretically, wouldn't any possible advertisement for anything potentially take?
Well, that's the thing is, yeah, YouTube? I thought the same thing. Like any video that says, I mean, so that's what I started thinking about more.
Kids, go read a book. Unmonetized.
Well, yeah, or
strike
like,
against
hey,
the community guidelines.
Like, let's say I'm a vlogger and I say, hey, I'm going to be at this convention or whatever on this day. That's a whole mass of people. You're saying, hey, don't be home watching YouTube. Come to this place.
No, yeah, I would agree with you. I think that that's an interesting line to try to walk, that you can't really efficiently walk that line. Like in a court of law, I think you'd have a lot of arguments. Not being a lawyer, I don't know what ones would be accepted and what ones would not be accepted. But I think one who just has like logic and reasoning behind their side could easily make the case that, hey, anything that you're construing, like you could argue with valid points, would be driving people off of YouTube.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, people might look at my numbers of unsubscribes and just be like, you making content at all drives people off of YouTube. Therefore, every video of yours is a community guideline strike. You could theoretically argue that. Like, look at the people you're driving away from our site. Obviously, we've proved that you are driving people away from YouTube.
You're a detriment.
Yeah, you could have that argument. And I could sit there and try to argue against. I'm sure I could come up with some valid arguments against it as well. But in the back of my mind, I'd have to go, well, there's some logic behind what they just said.
Right.
I'm also like a very logical person in the sense that I will look at all sides of an argument, even when they're against me, and actually weigh, like, could this really be construed in this way, shape, or form? I mean, because I'd like to be able to be non-biased and look at all sides of the arguments, but sometimes they're just ridiculous. But so that would be a ridiculous argument, but you could still look at it and be like, it kind of has a little bit of merit in such a way, though it's ridiculous.
Right.
As long as you have any views, you could also argue that you are bringing views to YouTube. So
the reason why I bring this up is there was a point in time where YouTube was trying to buy Twitch before Amazon got them, and that's why the whole I'm stream, because so remember whenever YouTube integrated the whole overlay that says I am streaming on Twitch on your videos?
Dude, yeah.
Like, it's still there. You can turn it on. You can have a little overlay that pops up on any video that shows that you are live on Twitch.
That is interesting.
Currently.
I actually forgot about that because I almost thought they were going to take that away when YouTube Gaming went live. Or not YouTube Gaming, YouTube
streaming.
Yeah, YouTube stream. But don't they call it something? It's just YouTube Live?
YouTube Live, I think is what it's called. I mean, I might be wrong. They may have taken that away now, but as far as I know, it's still there. And so that was the other thing that confused me is if that, and I think it is, I'm pretty sure it's still there. If that's still available, then what the fuck is going on? Like, what is it? Can you have a video that says you're live? Because technically all your videos say you're live when you're live.
The one thing I do have to ask is, isn't Amazon like the richest company in the world at this point?
No, Exxon's definitely worth way more than they are.
Okay. Well, it's up there though, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Do you think it would have been better in the long run for Twitch if YouTube had bought it versus Amazon? Because I wonder how Amazon, being as rich of a company and as tech savvy a company as they are, how have they not fixed the monetization piece?
What do you mean?
What they like? Can't you still not monetize VODs?
No. There's ads on everything you put on Twitch.
Do they not bring those ads back to? Remember when we did that original UHC to help promote Twitch's VOD service?
Right.
Wasn't the biggest complaint that we all had about it in general is that they brought the product out, had us do this whole promotional thing for them, which we were happy to do because we like to promote. I'm all about promoting people. I'm all about promoting people to get off of YouTube when you run into some of the problems that YouTube has. I think YouTube needs a competitor to actually be better in the market for content creators. But wasn't one of the biggest problems with it the fact that it didn't have the any monetization for VODs at the time? And has that changed?
Yeah, there was an issue with ads. I do remember that. Yeah, because like ads run on your live streams, but they weren't getting put on those videos. And if they are now, I don't actually know. I think that they are, because I do remember hearing something about ads in VODs. But the ad revenue on Twitch is just awful. Because it's not.
That was the other thing that I knew about is ad revenue on Twitch is known to be terrible. And
yeah.
And why is that? And would it have been better from a content creator's perspective if YouTube had picked it up? And
well, the thing is, they're making money on ads. They're just not sharing it.
Well, that's kind of fucked up, isn't it? Maybe that's why Amazon's worth so much money.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I know YouTube loses money. I don't think Twitch does. I don't know for sure, but I'm pretty sure Twitch does.
Money?
Yeah, it does. Yeah, they report a loss. They've always reported a loss.
From their ad I disagree with that. That doesn't make any sense.
Well, I mean, just so that's what they report. I don't know if they're cooking the books or what.
How would they still be around with?
Well, Google makes a shitload of money.
So they take YouTube as a loss?
That's what they say.
Bullshit. I call bullshit on this.
I mean, it would explain why they don't give a fuck about it. Especially like why they. I mean,
well, the thing is, doesn't it seem like they do give a fuck about it? Because just because they're really bashing in the way that the content creators' livelihoods does not mean that they're dropping in views.
Like, I don't think they can afford to lose any money. I think is what it comes down to. Like, things are bad enough already.
See, I don't know.
But I mean, yeah, I don't know either. This is what I understood.
I've never heard that YouTube.
Yeah, YouTube is not. God, I wish I had something to Google this with.
Like Google.
Yeah. Well, I mean, a device. My phone here's got 3%. Let's see if I can pull this off. YouTube. Guessing game. How much money is YouTube losing?
Answer: none. They make billions.
YouTube's operating losses each year is guesstimated at $200 million. Far below the $500 million estimated by credit analysts.
So, are they investing in like crypto or something?
They've lost $2 billion since Google bought it in 2006. So, this article
I don't understand
what
they keep it around for then.
What's this article written? I don't know when this article was actually written. If I go back, it tells me in the search engine when this was written. No. Yeah, I don't know why they keep it around.
Especially when they start running into problems with their content creators doing like hate speech and all and having advertisers pull out. Just say, okay, we're done.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
What are they trying to fix at this point if they've always lost money?
Right. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't. I mean, maybe someone. I can't tell you. I don't know why YouTube is the way it is and why it still exists and all that. I just know that I just always have known that they reported a loss every year since it existed.
But Twitch does not report a loss, correct?
I don't know. That's what I was just saying. I don't know if Twitch is a profitable company or not. They did just fire a bunch of people from a department that wasn't making money. I mean, seeing the way Twitch is run, I mean, I don't want to sit here and bash anything because, I mean, every company's different. But the way the company was ran, every time I've toured, I think every office they have.
Were they all just drinking all day? Yes.
I mean, there is a bar on every floor.
Well, I did hear the stories that there was a bar all over the place. That's the only reason I even said that. Is because I assumed that was. You don't think they were
there's
that
arcades
productive.
around everywhere. Like the way assignments are done, it's like who wants to work on this? Not you have to do this, and here's your deadline. I don't know. It's just it's Silicon Valley.
What department got a bunch of people cut? Was it some like?
It was like a content creation thing. Yeah, it was like a specific like let's create this branded content that'll bring in money sort of thing. So I mean it wasn't anything big, like, you know. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't think they're going anywhere. I think they probably have a better vision, at least in line with content creators and bringing them to the forefront of the content than YouTube does. But I mean, it's just a different model completely. I mean, the way Twitch streamers make their money is the viewers give it to them for the most part. But have you heard about Twitch's new bounty program?
No. Do I get to kill people and get money from them?
You get to kill games and get money for it, basically. Well, not kill games, but so the way it works, right now it's just for partners, and you have to apply.
I mean, I am a partner.
You are a partner. You would have to apply.
I don't know how much longer they're going to let me be a partner for.
Well, they don't take partnerships away, so you're a partner. As far as, I mean, currently, I guess it could change. I don't know what's in our contract.
Until they realize that I am fundamentally driving views away from Twitch.tv.
No, I think you're safe. But the way the bounty program works, any partner can sign up for it currently. Eventually, it'll probably be open to other streamers. And you fill out this questionnaire, what kind of games you stream, what kind of stuff interests you outside of gaming, like in real life stuff, what kind of food you like. Like the questionnaire covered a lot of things. It wasn't just like, what do you do gaming wise? It's like, what's your favorite restaurant? What's your favorite thing to eat there? Anyways, so Twitch is selling ads to gaming companies, and there's a bounty board, and you can go on the bounty board, and there's all these games, and then there's prices beside them, and it says basically you stream this game for an hour and we'll pay you this amount, because they're getting paid, you know, to advertise that game by whatever the game company or whatever.
I think that's fucking brilliant. You're gonna get paid a certain amount of money to do something that you're just gonna take lesser profits to pass it along to somebody who's already streaming stuff who wants to make money anyways. Like,
yeah,
you almost can't go wrong with it unless I literally got in there and started streaming a game. I was like, this is the shittiest fucking game I've ever played.
Well, that's one of the things it does say. No needless shit talking of the game. Or no.
But you're allowed to give honest opinions of the game, though.
Yeah. It doesn't say you. It doesn't. It just says no needless bad mouthing of the game. Like one of the games I did a bounty for was called Warface, and it wasn't great. And I said, "This game's." Yeah, no. Even the name isn't great.
Warface.
So yeah, I've done 2 bounties so far. I have one more unlocked that so the way it works, they take your average. Oh, Jesus fucking Christ, the goddamn mom. So I went there and got into bed, and then I was running around and left the bed. Forgot to even mention that I was gonna get into bed.
Oh, I was gonna say I'm like out on the beds now. I don't see you.
Yeah, no, I know. I went there and I needed dirt, and also I was like, well, I got in the bed and I was just sitting there and I was like, fuck, I just get this dirt and come back down here. So it gives you, well, they take your average viewership, and that's what you're supposed to try to hit, and they tell you how much you'll get paid if you hit that amount. So I don't know if I'm allowed to disclose, so I'm not going to, like my exacts, but I know I can say how many I'm supposed to hit. So my average viewership for the last month, because of that Jurassic World Evolution stream, was higher than normal. So my bounty number is 315 concurrent viewers. So if I'm supposed to hit 315 concurrent viewers to get my full payout. So I'm just gonna make up a random number. Let's say let's say they're gonna pay me $10. It's more than that, so it's not like a ripoff. But let's say they're gonna pay me $10 if I get this 315 concurrent. There's also a minimum, so I have to, if I don't get at least 135, I think it is,
you have to pay
then there's
them.
no payout.
Oh.
You have to pay them.
That'd be awesome. It was like the inverse gamble. It's like you will get us 350 viewers and you get $10. However, if you get less than 130, you owe us $10.
You get a percentage basically if you don't get the total. So if you hit 135, you still get a payout. Get less than 135. And again, these are my numbers. These aren't everyone's different. I think Ko said his was 250 or something like that. Again, my numbers are a little bit inflated because
I need to apply for this thing because I'm curious if I can get the same pay for like 15 concurrent viewers.
Well, see, I know that the pay is based on the max concurrent because I've compared it with other people's bounty boards, and it is a scale, and we're on the same scale sort of thing. I just have the ability to technically make more than someone who doesn't have the same cap. But then there's probably people like, like let's say, I'll use Seven as an example, who gets like 3,000 viewers a stream. I guess he still does. Let's assume he does. Who his bounty thing is probably 3,000, and his payout is, if we're using my same $10 made up number, his payout's $100 or whatever.
Right. I mean, I think it'd be, even if they do it for the smaller numbers, I think it'd be great in general for myself as well as anybody else. But just because I'm assuming you get the game, right?
Yeah, you get a copy of the game.
Yeah,
too.
and that's kind of like the number one thing is there's a lot of games out there that I would try, but I don't want to go spend the $10 or $15 on a game on a whim of all the games that exist out there. Because if I did that, if I paid $9.99 for every game I thought looked okay that I really wanted to try, that would quickly add up to hundreds of dollars a month in games.
Right.
Because a lot of games look good, but especially if you were gonna, even if you just said, we'll give you this game for free if you go stream it for an hour to 30 viewers or whatever. Mm-hmm. I'd almost be like, okay, like I'll check it out, see what this game's about, and if I like it, I have a game to continue playing on my hands,
Right. So far for me, the first bounty I did was Guts and Glory. That game I already owned, so I didn't get anything out of game-wise out of it, but I did get my full 315 viewers on that one. Anders raided me right as I started. It was wonderful timing. So I had my 315 for that one. The second one I did was Warface. That game's free to play. So I didn't get a game out of that one because I just had to download it. That one I hit 95%. So if we're going on the same $10 scale, I basically got $9. And then the last one I got is Pillars of Eternity 2. I was gonna do that one yesterday, but Twitch was having problems. So the way I've been doing it is I don't start the bounty until I have my minimum number of viewers. That way I don't get fucked. I don't like do it during my countdown or whatever. I figure this way we have people there. They know there's going to be a bounty at this time, and the viewers know what's going to happen, sort of thing. So that's what I've been doing. And so anyways, Twitch was messed up yesterday, and hardly people couldn't watch, so I didn't end up doing it. But that's a $50 game, a $49.99 or something like that. So yeah, no matter what, I got a $50 game out of it.
Yeah. What about the oh shit, what was it? Oh my god, I just lost my train of thought on this thing. Oh, the titles in Twitch. Do they update them to include all these games? Because I still find it frustrating when I randomly decide I'm going to stream something. I'll buy some, I used to buy the Humble Bundle monthlies and get like the $12 a month and get a bunch of random games. I stopped doing that because most of them were garbage, But there'd be a couple of them I'd find. I'd be like, this would be interesting to play like on a Twitch stream, and I'd do a Twitch stream. But the game didn't exist in their drop-down list, and then you're stuck putting in that you're doing like, what is it, the creative?
I've never ran into a game not existing in the list, actually.
I've ran into multiple games that don't exist.
Huh.
One of the big ones that still doesn't exist. I gotta pull up my Steam list and see what the hell is it that I've streamed.
Sometimes they won't have icons, but they'll still be a game. You can still say that's what you're playing.
Oh, Jackbox. Jackbox doesn't exist, but sometimes the individual pieces of Jackbox exist. Like there's a Quiplash one, but there's not like a Fibbage one. I can't remember exactly which one's which, but you can't put one of those individual games that you're playing on there because Jackbox as a whole doesn't exist as a category.
Huh.
Okay, so a lot of times I just end up running the game like when I streaming Jackbox, I'll say it's Quiplash even if we switch it over to Fibbage or whatever because I don't want to just say I'm all of a sudden creative.
Right. Huh. Well, you could technically make it say anything you want even if it doesn't exist in their system. But you might have to do that with a bot. I don't know if you can do that just by typing it in on their site. Like my bot, when I tell my bot, I've mistyped PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds a few times, and then when I look back at my stats, it's not that at all. It's just it's what I typed, but
that's interesting. Yeah, because I just thought I was doing it from the drop down in the dashboard, but obviously I stream very minimally, so I don't know all the nuances of the tips and tricks and secrets that you can do on there.
Tips and tricks. It's like one of those guides you get at Barnes and Noble or the Scholastic Book Fairs.
I mean, that's going to be my next YouTube video is tips and tricks of Twitch streaming, specifically for the purpose of driving mass viewers away from YouTube. I want to see how successful that video gets.
Wow. But yeah, I guess this was our. I mean, this whole video is about Twitch and how they're better than YouTube. So we're banned.
Probably.
But yeah, I do like the bounty program. I don't remember how we started off talking about what we were talking about. Oh, it was the YouTube doing the stupid you can't talk about Twitch streams. But yeah, I think that's just another example of Twitch doing a better job of making sure the content creators are getting paid than YouTube ever has.
Even though their ad revenue sucks. In general. Oh, yeah, that's what it was about, is Twitch's ad revenue and how it sucks, even though they're probably making their own money. And YouTube...
Like, I'm very soon, I think I'm going to make more from Twitch than I do on YouTube. But I mean, my Twitch community is...
subscriptions, though.
Actually, I don't make a ton off of... I mean, subscriptions aren't that... I mean, you don't make a lot off of it. I mean, but, a lot of it is fluctuating income where there's bits and stuff like that involved. But I'm actually talking about the bounties. Like, the bounty stuff... it's going to be this month was a 60% increase, or no, 30% increase in revenue, just from doing those 3 bounties, which I haven't done the last one. I'm assuming the last one's going to go as well as the first 2. So I guess I'm counting future chickens before they hatch. But if the bounty program continues, and I didn't even get invited until the end of this month, so I didn't have it all month. So if I can do 4 of those a month and keep it at my current viewership rate. That's an extra significant amount of income. I'll tell you off camera how much the exact amount is, but yeah, it's I don't know, it's good.
I think it's funny.
Hopefully,
for this whole video, I basically sat here listening to you and not digging anything because the pigs were almost dead, and I didn't want to just sit there fishing or farming at the skeleton farm to enhance them. So instead, I just sat here running around and watching.
Yeah, my pick is also dead. I was mining and then I stopped and realized I have to wait until I can repair my pick. But yeah, I'm gonna try to get the water all the way down so we can plant all of this week too. So that'll be cool. But we're out of time anyway, so we'll have to talk about how this platform sucks later.
All right, guys. See you on Twitch. I mean, on YouTube.
Bye, everybody.
See ya.